At the U20's World Championships, Italy's Alberto Nonino had a horrific wardrobe malfunction when his genitalia slipped out of his shorts. At the conclusion of the first day of competition in Cali, Colombia, the decathlete was participating in the 400-meter event when tragedy occurred. So, how did the mishap influence his career? Stay tuned to find out what we know about the catastrophe. Let's look at what actually occurred to Alberto, the tragedy. The 18-year-old athlete had a good start out of the blocks, but as he came into view on the backstretch of the race, spectators saw that instead of flailing his arms, he was groping for his crotch many times. The sad reason why Nonino's run was hampered was that he was struggling to control his thunder as it continually slipped out as he was running the race, and watchers with keen eyes saw this cause. The replays indicated that he got off to a strong start but gradually fell farther and more behind as he responded to the challenges he faced. His final time was 51.57 seconds, which placed him in last place. Since then, the journalist David Sanchez de Castro's summary of the event and his assessment of Nonino's masculinity have gained widespread attention. It's be that I didn't express myself very well. It is usual for your dongle to move in a side-to-side motion when it is swinging from side to side, but his penis slipped out of the side of his shorts, and he had to hold it since it was preventing him from running correctly, according to the reporter. Since then, Nonino has resorted to Instagram to vent his ire at the manner in which the event has been covered in various parts of the globe. So, what are your thoughts on the incident? Moving on, scan results show Imogen Iris won bronze in the pole vault despite having a damaged foot. Imogen Iris participated in the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham despite having a fractured hand and foot. Iris told the Herald that she had fractured a bone in her hand earlier this year as a result of her old gymnastics accident. Iris's foot was bothering her by the conclusion of the game, in addition to her hand. According to Iris, she had to disregard the agony in order to win the gold. "I wasn't thinking about it," she stated when questioned about the discomfort. "I can ignore pain to a large extent. Jumping with strange injuries didn't bother me in the least. There was no evidence of it." Iris had braced herself for the agony, but she had no idea how the break happened. "It's been bugging me for a long time. I first became aware of it after getting off a plane in the United States just before the World Championships in Oregon last month. I put forth the effort, it vanished, and now it's reappeared. We had it locked down throughout training sessions and didn't modify a single exercise, but it was destroyed during the competition. I played it down in the 2 weeks leading up to today because I didn't want it to become a thing. Due to an injury, the young athlete had to cut her training in Europe short and return to New Zealand. Next up, the White Ferns were defeated by England and will play Australia in the semi-finals. Prior to their humiliating loss to England, the White Ferns had a position secured for them in the semi-finals of the competition. The unfortunate news is that they will have to play Australia immediately. At Edgbaston today, New Zealand got themselves ready for the medal rounds in the worst way conceivable, as they suffered a defeat at the hands of the hosts by 7 wickets. The method in which we lost was the source of the issue, not the scale of our loss, which was disappointing enough on its own. The White Ferns were forced to a score of 71-9 after winning the toss and opting to bat first, a choice that seemed to be ill-advised after just 4 deliveries had been bowled. When runs were sorely required, the top order was scythed through, the middle order gave nothing, and the bottom order batted for time to buy some more time. All of this resulted in New Zealand posting their 3rd lowest total in T20 internationals, which took some of the shine off of the competitive numbers they had set in victories over South Africa and Sri Lanka to start the tournament. Despite the fact that Fran Jonas scored a wicket in the opening over of the chase, the solution quickly became apparent, and the hosts powered forward to achieve their mark in the 12th over. So, how do you feel about this defeat? Moving on, Georgia Williams delivers lone medal for New Zealand, Day 7 wrap. New Zealand's cycling team has now won 16 medals at the Commonwealth Games thanks to Georgia Williams, who took bronze in the women's individual time trial. Williams, who had already won silver in the road race, increased her medal haul by placing 3rd after completing the 28.8-kilometer course at a steady pace and clearing each of the 4 time checks. While Williams didn't put up much of a fight against the top 2 riders, Australia's Grace Brown won by 33 seconds over England's Anna Henderson, and Williams finished 47 seconds behind. Her 3rd-place result never seemed in jeopardy. Even though her last 5.6 kilometers were the slowest in the race, she still finished with a 19-second advantage over Georgia Baker, who finished in 4th place, and brought home another medal for New Zealand cyclists. Another New Zealander, Michaela Harvey, placed 20th, while Henrietta Christie did not even participate. In the men's time trial, where Aaron Gate finished 3rd, he almost missed out on a 4th Olympic medal. While Gate did win 3 gold medals on the track, he only placed 4th in the road time trial, behind 3 riders who are regulars on the World Tour. Australian Rohan Dennis beat off Fred Wright by 26 seconds to take gold, with Tour de France podium winner Geraint Thomas placing 3rd, just 2 seconds behind. Gate crossed the line 2 minutes 22 seconds behind Dennis, while his colleague Tom Sexton placed 8th. Following that, Silver Ferns lose the fight but advance in the war. The last match in England's group play was against the Silver Ferns, which they won 54-44. However, New Zealand went on to win what was considered the greatest semi-final matchup after Jamaica scored an upset victory over Australia earlier in the day. England won their final pool play match 54-44 by coming in 2nd place in their group. The Ferns Lions earned a spot in the semi-finals against Jamaica, who, although being a formidable foe, seems to be a far more appealing prospect than England's traditional foe Australia, who England will now play. The head coach, Noeline Taurua, maintained she was trying to win the game by benching her great shooter Grace Nweke and her defensive ace Kelly Jury for the whole of the fourth and final quarter, even though she vehemently denies that the team was willing to play out a competitive defeat. However, that effort was unsuccessful as England cruised to a triumph, much to the delight of their home crowd in what turned out to be an easy victory. Next up, what do we know about the hammer blow for Kiwi? The Commonwealth Games for Lauren Bruce were a bust. As the current New Zealand record holder, Bruce placed second out of 17 competitors. All three of the 25-year-old's qualifying throws were dismal failures. The first shot she took missed the goal, but the second one she made it to strike the left webbing of the net. To qualify for the championship, Bruce had to throw more than 60 meters. The Cantabrian, who previously had thrown a personal best of 74.61 meters, was eliminated after a third foul throw in which she went wide. Nicole Bradley, 68.73 meters, and Julia Ratcliffe, 68.73 meters, will represent New Zealand in the final despite Bruce's absence, 61.77 meters. Champion defending thrower Ratcliffe faces stiff opposition from Cameron Rogers of Canada, who threw 74.68 meters. The hammer competition finals will start at 6 a.m. on Saturday. Sam Tanner competed successfully in the 1500-meter semifinals. Due to the slower pace of the second heat, only the top 5 finishers qualified for the championship race. Many times Tanner had to fight for position, and he had slid just before the home stretch, but he fought back and ended up finishing 6th. Heat winner Jack Whiteman and Tanner were separated by only 0.31 seconds, while Tanner's margin over 6th place going into Saturday's final was just 0.33 seconds. Keely O'Hagan made it to the finals of the women's high jump with a height of 1.81 meters. Portia Bing placed 3rd in her 400-meter hurdles heat, advancing her to Sunday's final. Connor Bell, competing for the first time, placed 8th. Finally, black sticks, used by women, advanced to the semifinals. The women's black sticks advanced to the Commonwealth Games semifinals with a 4-1 victory against South Africa. Tessa Job, Tyler Lench, and Hope Ralph scored to put the black sticks up 3-0 after 12 minutes, with Caitlin Cotter adding another in the final session before South Africa scored a consolation goal. With the victory, New Zealand finishes second in their pool, behind only Australia, and advances to play the undefeated English in a semi-final on Saturday morning. Meanwhile, the men's team was eliminated from the semi-finals after falling 4-3 to South Africa in their last group game. Well, that marks the end of our video for today. We hope you liked it. On your way out, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.